Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Spost channel, where we should encourage self preservation over self termination, because that's what we're supposed to be doing. Today, I wanted to go over a beautiful black nonprofit that was started for little young black girls called Black Girls Code. I'm going to go over this and then we're going to get into the topic of the video. So, the Black Girls Code, which I have the link to the nonprofit down in the description box if you want to go check out the website. It was founded by beautiful Kimberly Bryant, and I'm just going to go ahead and read the About page. So, when I was first introduced to computer programming as a freshman in electrical engineering, Fortran and Pascal were the popular languages for newbies in computing, and the Apple Macintosh was the new kid on the block. I remember being excited by the prospects and looked forward to embarking on a rich and rewarding career after college. But I also recall, as I pursued my studies, feeling culturally isolated. Few of my classmates looked like me. While we shared similar aspirations and many good times, there was much to be said for making any challenging journey with people of the same cultural background. Much has changed since my college days, but there's still a dearth of African American women in science, technology, engineering, and math professions, an absence that cannot be explained by, say, a lack of interest in these fields. Lack of access and lack of exposure to STEM topics are the likelier culprits. By launching Black Girls Code, I hope to provide young and preteen girls of color opportunities to learn in-demand skills in technology and computer programming at a time when they are naturally thinking about what they want to be when they grow up. That really is the Black Girls Code mission. To introduce programming and technology to a new generation of coders who will become builders of technological innovation and of their own futures. Imagine the impact that these curious, creative minds could have on the world with guidance and encouragement others take for granted. I have, and I can't wait. That is from the About page for the blackgirlscode.com. Thank you, Miss Bryant. We appreciate your service, and I look forward to seeing more from you. Now, this is such a beautiful service, this nonprofit. We have to start programs like this because we're often excluded or deprived of the knowledge needed in our communities in order to advance and build within, or simply to just better oneself, which in turn does help the Black community. People often think that because someone has divested, that particular, or should I say divested from the Black community, that particular person has helped to destroy the Black community. And I'm here to tell you all of that is a sad misinterpretation of what's really happening. When someone divests from the Black community, assuming they're not bashing their own kind when they do divest or actively supporting white supremacy, they've actually boosted Black status with a positive subtraction. How do you boost the Black community with a positive subtraction, you ask? Well, when someone in our broken community takes the necessary steps to educate oneself in a field for life skills and self-improvement that in turn benefits the black community by decreasing negative black statistics that often represent the majority of our people. So that's one less, say, Pookie and Ray Ray, one less Felicia, one less horrible statistic in the black community. When a divested person is financially viable or wealthy and they bring resources back to the black community, they then become a positive or ally to the community. Another way the black community is boosted, and the most well-known way the community is boosted, is through absolute value or absolute positives within our community. Absolute positives meaning you've never divested, you've never removed yourself from your community, but your mission and goal was to consistently aid in the structure and development of the black community. So don't think, brothers and sisters, that because someone has divested from the black community, that they are just a negative. A negative or a liability would be a black person, whether they started in the black community or not, that uses their genetics and complexion to their advantage in order to infiltrate the black community with insidious or bad intentions, thereby degrading one's own community and promoting white supremacy. So don't be upset when black people leave the black community, because most would liken the project we call the black community to beating a dead horse, which is very understandable. However, while you have many factions and fractions within the black community, some still do support the idea and blueprint to restructure and rebuild the broken community. I'm one of them, and those I associate with are a part of the advocacy as well. It's necessary to not only discuss the positives, but the negatives, to reconcile what has been uneven or displaced for so long. Ultimately, we have lost as a people, as a melanated people, we have lost our space and place in the world, our culture, and our source of power, which has been hidden from us. This channel is not, I'm warning you, for anyone who rejects knowledge and truth. If you reject knowledge and truth, I suggest you stop viewing these videos, because you won't understand or agree with what's being said. So I wanted to touch on the subject of aiding in the black community's fall and aiding in the black community's rise. Anyone can aid in the revival of the black community simply by being an ally of the black community in a healthy, righteous way. Aiding in the rehabilitation process doesn't always require money, although a monetary amendment would suffice in certain circumstances. To better aid in the redevelopment would mainly require your undivided attention and not oblivion. Everything that's taking place in the world at this moment is because drastic shifts are occurring and are about to occur in the earth. You can see it from what is often referred to as climate change, all the way down to racial affairs. Slowly, we have been living and witnessing a real decline of an empire. We are living in the last days of Egypt, Greece, Rome, and now America. We all must realize that these things have to take place because America was strengthened with fallacies and illusions. What is not real cannot last. Eventually, the faulty foundation of this empire will crumble and implode because people cannot sustain a life built on lies. This system we live in and try to preserve our lives in has shed so much innocent blood in the earth which is living, that the foundations below are starting to regurgitate that which hasn't been accounted for, the forgotten. It's nice to think that we live on an earth where evil won't be dealt with and where survival of the fittest is law. For a wicked person, I suppose this world would be heaven. But for those of us who don't deal wickedly and understand that our dominion and responsibility on this earth is higher than that of an animal fit to survive, then this would be considered our hell. So what do? Do you fight to restructure the current system? Do you march in the streets? Do you fight one another, even though the other is just as down and out as you in every way? Do you give in to the evils of society and the system? Whatever you're doing, you better start understanding real quick that no matter what you do or are doing, that this empire has to fall in order for the world to be rebuilt. This system is a virus. It sucks the life out of everything it seizes, including you. Evil loves no one. I'll make another video expounding on this topic. Until then, love, peace, and happiness. Shalom.